Hi, ladies and gentlemen, Eddie Marcus here again. I'm back. A few moments ago, I was doing a video post for you entitled, This is How It's Done. Well, my video ran short, so I had to cut it a little short, but I didn't want to leave it out there like that. There was an ending that probably would make it easier to understand what I'd said previous. I ended by saying, this is the design. This is the design. I'm telling you about the peace and the prosperity and those things that you pray for and how to get those things for those of you who need to be brought up to date just a little bit. Well, the design is that the earth feeds off of itself. It really feeds off itself, ladies and gentlemen. The earth, the trees, the grass, all of the vegetation that comes up out of the ground, it feeds itself from the earth. And the rain that falls and any other stuff that needs to happen from the earth. Even the diamonds and the oil and the steel and all of the other resources, feeds itself from the earth. The rivers that flow, that feeds the fish and all of the animals that's in the ground, that feeds itself, feeds off itself. We the people got those same common needs. We feed off our abilities to extract from the resources that have been given, those resources that are necessary to meet our needs, our wants, and our desires. We do that as a people for the benefit of the people. That's by design. That is by design. That's why you get peace and prosperity and freedom and joy and the fulfillment of dreams. That is by design. But now, who's fake? We know that the design is not followed. It isn't broken. It's just not followed. And that's why we have all the chaos. We have, as I said here, your government. Now, what do I mean? Your government cannot serve you well when you got all these different personalities requiring the same things but 1,000 different kind of ways or billions of different kind of ways to achieve them. And somebody's supposed to come up with that answer. No, no way. The power that created the solution, the power that exists for that answer, is unacceptable to you because you never heard it before. Fate. You don't want to hear it. Why? Because your ego is being dealt with. So your government fails you by your own power. What about the church? The church is supposed to tell you what's wrong. But not only that, what it takes to fix it, what fixing it means, what's the difference, who's involved, how. That's the church's responsibility as it has been given to me. That's why I'm out here doing what? Now, I'm not the church. I'm just a citizen of God, citizen of this universe, doing what I've been given to do. All right, your family. That's the next one. No. Let me back up. Well, let me just go ahead on. The family. Your family, you think and when it comes down to stuff like this, no, they've been just like everybody else. Just like you were. All of us. We've been taught by the same system. We all think the same way about certain things. It depends on what group we're in, what level we're in, where we come from, whether we're privileged or not. But we got our teaching, and none of the teachers, wherever we got them from, tells us how to get free. None whatsoever. So our government was essentially didn't care about 400 years of people being treated as second-class citizens. Didn't even care about George Floyd being murdered. That's why he was murdered, and then they're trying to pretend like they cared. But before that killer was found guilty, another killing had taken place by a cop. So that don't mean a thing. All right? Now, I was thinking about my family, especially. My family grew up with me. Most of my kids, at least 4 of them did. They've heard everything that I've said ever since I've been talking to you. And I've been talking to you for at least 30 some odd years. And none of them, of these 4, I think 38, well, all of them. There's nothing new I've said that they haven't heard. But what they witness is this. Nobody's paying attention. Nobody in the church is paying attention. Nobody in government is paying attention. Nobody who got problems are paying attention. Nobody, the media isn't paying attention. So it's like I'm out here drifted in the wind. Woo, 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 woo. Nobody even asks where the sound coming from. Totally. So they say, woo. Well, we don't know what's wrong with Dad, but nobody is paying attention to it. So it won't work for us. So they get caught up in the flow of the norm, trying to go struggle through life just like everybody else. And what do people say to me? Get off that bandwagon, boy, and come out here and be a part of this. You can do good. You got a gap for talking. You can be a preacher for real and get all kinds of funds because you can talk. That's what they say to me. But to share with you, no. They do me like they did Cheney, and this other brother, Republican, who decided to get on the side of truth against the Republican. And you see how they're treated. Oh, so no, there's no mystery here. I know what I'm telling people, nothing but the answers. But I know that it's going to take something more than this. People they won't be able to take this because I'm saying this. By my walking it, they might be influenced a little bit. But what it's going to take is for something to move them to that point to eliminate all doubt. You see, in order to be treated with the glove of God, you got to remove all doubt. You got to be able to walk on water if it's necessary for you to walk on water. And no doubt. You got to be able to know that laying hands on the sick will make them recover. No doubt. That doesn't mean everybody going to be out there doing these things because a lot of folks going to doubt. So what you doubt, you don't do. But what you know, you do. So when you know that God exists, you let the world know it. You know government is not above God. Family is not above God. Church is not above God. Nothing is above God. And the evidence is when everybody yields. When they say yield, not necessarily bending your knee, but you're conforming to the will of God. You're becoming God's child. You're becoming God's, what they say about Jesus? Only begotten. Become a part of God's only begotten crew, where there is no greater love than that any of them would give it up for the rest of them. Hey, that's what I wanted to share with you, ladies and gentlemen. That is not what is happening in our society. The trick, I hate to mention it, but the trick is deception. Somebody coming in and saying, hey, no, don't believe what that man just told you. All of you guys, rather than walking around with fake jewelry on, everybody can walk around with real diamonds and pearls and whatever else is considered fabulous jewelry. I don't know that kind of stuff because I'm not interested. But they do. God has made it for you if you want it. What I'm trying to say to you, ladies and gentlemen, if it is accessible to everyone and any and everyone can wear it whenever they get ready, most of the folk won't want to wear it. Why? Because it doesn't mean anything. The only thing that makes it mean something is when some can have it and others can't. As long as everybody can have it, it would be like the rocks on the street. You just step on and keep on stepping. You won't get caught up in that stuff. So, I just wanted to share these kinds of things with you, ladies and gentlemen. They're supposed to be liberating. I want you to know that there's only one way out of this hell. You don't have to lie. You don't have to cheat, to steal. You don't have to be robbed. You can sit up in God's world, smoke as much weed as you want, and it won't cost you 1 penny, and nobody going to be complaining. Not only that, you can drink if you want to. Now, the only problem would be is if what you do causes pain and suffering or some problems to someone else. That stuff is not permitted in heaven's way. But as long as you, and that's you have the right, the God-given right, to make a decision about whether you want to continue living in this life. And if you don't, you can quit. And the rest of us will give you a God-sent wherever you're going. But from here, you want to be burned, we give you the best burning you can get. You want to be put away in the ground, we give you the best one that you want. You want to be put in a Cadillac, we put you in a Cadillac. Why? Because it doesn't mean anything. It's what you want. Why? Because we're going to treat you right. We want you to know that there's a power that cares about you and is living in us. And so we're not going to try to hamstring you, tell you what you can't do. Only thing we'll tell you what you can't do is what God tell you that you can't do. And what is that? You can't cause pain and suffering on others. You just can't do that. Love will not permit it, but you'll go through hell. Let me tell you, there's a song that kind of describes me, I think. Now, I know I'm not a singer, but it's something that makes me want to try to sing that song. Now, when I start I'm going to try to sing a little bit of it. When I start messing up, I'm going to stop, okay? Okay, it goes something like this. To dream the impossible dream, fight the unbeatable foe, to bear with unbearable sorrow, to run where the brave dare not go, to right the unrightable wrong. Ladies and gentlemen, those are the lyrics. They say so much to me. But trying to sing it on the spot like that to you, I can't feel it. And I ain't going to go no further messing with you. But you go and play that song, The Impossible Dream. And think about yourself being that one person out of everybody else on the face of the earth, the one person scorned and covered with scars, you still strove because you had one last ounce of courage. And as long as you had it, you're going to reach out. Reach out. For what? What appeared before, the unreachable star. But now you find out you're there. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.